Hey everybody, on this episode of Popcorn Talks Box Office Breakdown, we're basically spending 60 minutes talking about how Quinn Scillian just accurately predicted a $60 million box office for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It's gonna be exciting, let's do it.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
That's right, folks. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Box Office Breakdown here on Popcorn Talk, the show that looks back at the box office that was, and then we
prognosticate.
Wait, one for me too. Prognosticate.
Say that. Say it at home, folks. Perfect. Way to go. I love your diction right there. We'll prognosticate about the box office the weekend to come. Woo! I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie.
Hi, guys. I'm Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian.
You guys can stalk me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Skye.
And if you're not stalking him, what are you doing with your life?
What are you doing?
It's like the simple joys, you know? Why would you ever?
Why are you breathing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of stalking there, folks, why don't you like us on Facebook? Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hop on the chat. As always, we pull up the chat while we do the show. You're basically like the 5th member of our panel, or actually the 4th in this case, because Kari Lane is still on assignment working on her film. So when she comes back in about 2 weeks, she'll be able to tell you all the ins and outs of what it's like to be on the other side.
work on a horror film.
Well, we're going to find out in just 2 short weeks. Kari Lane will be
Hilarious.
back on the scene.
It's probably
Like,
funny.
does that take away the fear of it all? Like, I don't know.
I know.
Could you do that? Could you work
think
on a
I
horror
could
film?
totally work on one. Yeah, definitely.
You just couldn't
Really?
watch one.
I just can't watch
I don't feel
one.
like you'd be able to do it.
You know what, though? Maybe maybe it would actually make me really good at it because I would be really scared. I wouldn't be acting at all. I would just be that scared.
Interesting.
No, all
I
right.
can't wait to hear about that.
The one thing that we will start talking about, though, we're going to be talking about this weekend's box office. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Movies.
So as I said there in the tease, let's first give it up to Quinn Scillian for accurately predicting the $60 million box office there for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. She nailed it right out of the gate. I applaud.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Quinn.
so I'm clairvoyant. I just must be able to see the future.
Congratulations.
And I am so good at predicting, at
That's right.
prognosticating. Yeah, I should get paid.
So while it didn't quite make $60 million, it still did enough to make it number
Just
one in the box
missed it.
office.
Yeah.
Just a hair short than $60 million.
Just a tiny bit.
28.5. Mm-hmm. So I
Which, you know, it is number one, but that still feels low to me. I mean, like, I know 60 was crazy, but 28 feels low. I think we could have at least
I feel
hit
like
30.
you were expecting Harry Potter's
You
type
know
numbers.
what?
You know what I mean? Like,
I have to say, joke's on you guys, because I saw it this weekend.
Oh, so she's already seen it.
Ooh. Well, I mean, you should have.
So I don't have
That's true. You already knew
I
going
wasn't
in.
preemptively knowing that I was going to lose. But I gotta
So
tell
tell
you,
us about it.
the theater was not very full. So
What?
right there walking in, I was like, ah, shit. All right, we didn't have to walk by anybody's knees to get in. The aisles were clear.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, because I feel with Tim Burton, visually, I always seem to enjoy his movies. Plot-wise, not so much. So how did this kind of fall?
It's based off a book. So I think there were some things that I could tell translated really well and some things that didn't translate very well. There was actually parts, and this is a kid movie, but there's parts where I was sitting there being like, this doesn't make any sense. But as a whole, I thought the acting was good. I thought sometimes Samuel L. Jackson actually felt like he was maybe in a different movie than everybody else. Like he was so, like everybody else was taking it so seriously, and he came in and he was so comedic that it was a little bit, but as a whole it was really, really cute. I thought the movie was really fun, and then I kind of woke up to see this interview that Tim Burton had done with Bustle that was like not so great, and I almost wish he hadn't said anything.
Wait,
because
what did he say?
Basically, they were talking about the lack of diversity in the cast and how the only POC is the villain, and I mean it is Samuel L. Jackson, so you want to see him in everything anyway, but. This being this kind of like peculiar children, they could have been anybody, and they were just little young, polite, white British children, and I think that I almost could have seen past it if he didn't come out with this kind of weird interview where he addressed the issue in kind of an insensitive way.
What did he say? I'm behind on this.
He
obviously.
basically just said, sometimes movies call for diversity and sometimes they don't, and it was like, what do you mean? Yes, they do. They all should. What are you talking about? It was very weird. Like, and it was just kind of it was just kind of like Tim Burton, who's usually like this like really out there. He's kind of like the hero for the misfit kind of kid, kind of coming out and just kind of being like this very traditional old white Hollywood thing that we don't really love to see all the time.
Interesting.
And that was kind of a bummer, but you know, the movie as a whole, I will say, was pretty cute.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we need to go see it? Because I was gonna go see it.
No.
So don't go to see it. Let it come to
And
you.
there we have it.
All right.
Netflix.
Well, let that movie come to us.
See, Albin says that it was insensitive and just wrong. I agree. Yeah, I know, and it was almost made it worse. I feel like he just put his foot in it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's like we don't want to hear what they have to say.
Which seems surprising
It's
from
not
Tim
anything
Burton.
positive.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's been around in this industry enough that you don't want to. He should know better than to shoot himself in the foot. So to
Yeah.
speak.
At least know how to
Exactly.
answer the question in a politically correct manner.
Exactly. Yeah. It was almost like we were gonna let it go, and then dang it! You ruined it, Tim. Come on, Tim.
Well, coming in at number 2, we had Deepwater Horizon, Mark Wahlberg's and Kurt Russell's film. There. Oh, I guess.
Woohoo!
We've got.
I'm happy this came in second.
Yeah. Well,
Did I go
actually,
see it? No.
I wasn't pretty keen on it at all, so I'm happy about that too.
Yeah, it came out from Lionsgate, made $20 million.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
How do we feel about
that's
20
something.
million? Do we feel good about 20 million?
I wonder how much Mark Wahlberg made.
I don't know. I mean, from what I've heard, it
20
seems
million.
like the reviews have been on the positive side for it. So, I mean, I think
Really?
like this might have a little bit of legs. I could see this doing like Sully, kind of sticking around towards the top of the top 5 for the next
I don't
couple
know,
weeks.
man. It just seems like I just
wonder
know
what he got on Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
know what happens.
True,
like you
but I mean-
kind of just
Because it's based off a true story?
well, I mean that, and then if you watch the previews, you kind of just know what happens.
Yeah, but I mean the same thing with Sully, the same thing like
guess
with
that's
you know
true.
like Lone
Maybe
Survivor,
maybe
things
the
like
story is something that makes it compelling. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've seen the movie already.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. But I'm happy it did well-ish.
Well enough that you'd want to go see it.
I don't know. If somebody made me go, I would go.
Yo, I can't tell you why this movie doesn't.
Something made you
This
go.
movie doesn't interest me at all, and I feel bad about that because I want to go see it
Yeah,
because it's a
I
true
mean-
story, and I want to kind of like feel more connected to that. Because we were all,
I
because
just
remember how
feel
big
like
of
they're
a deal it
trying
was?
to make me feel something for it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like they're trying to they're trying to take a scenario and make it interesting enough that it tells a compelling story.
Like maybe not every news story has to be a movie.
right.
You know, but I
just,
don't know. But again, if
hit
it's
the
doing
nail
really
on the head.
well, and if it was well written and well acted, then of course, you know, it should.
At least it's
I don't know why I can't get psyched about it. How do you feel,
semi-original
Frank?
idea.
Do you want to see this movie?
It's one of those. I think I'll see it when it comes on
Yeah,
my house.
yeah.
I won't go.
I would
probably
rent
go out to
it.
see
I would
yeah.
totally rent it.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix
But-
and chill.
That doesn't stop the chat. Please chat if you want to see Richie Skye. You said if somebody made him see this, so please spend the next few minutes just browbeating Richie Skye into going to see Deepwater
Please
Horizon.
don't.
Oh, Media Shack says Deepwater should have made much more than 20. Really?
Really? Why so?
Yeah. Well, I wonder why you think
I
that.
can't even see that. I can't.
Deepwater
see it.
Horizon had a horrible title. Yeah, kinda.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, it's a well. I mean,
Right, Sylvia. It did not attract me. Either.
Oh, I want to. Okay, Adelia says Tim Burton has always had a voice for the odd people. Now that everything is trending much towards that, it's like he's stuck in a time machine and has not evolved. That's really interesting, actually. I think I agree with you.
I do like Sky Patterson. Mark Wahlberg is worth $400 million. There you go.
There was the budget.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No,
And-
they said it was 150.
But don't worry, if he's also he's going to be in the next Transformers film, so thank goodness for that.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, we're excited. He was so exciting in the last one. So, all right.
All right, let's move on. I can't
Coming in-
think of anything fun to say about Deepwater Horizon.
No.
Wah wah.
Media Shack. I keep calling it Event Horizon. Oh, nice. There you go.
What's Event Horizon?
That's that old horror movie there with Lawrence Fishburne and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sam Neill, where they end up they go through space and they do like a new wormhole technology, and all of a sudden they bring something along with them.
That
some
sounds
kind of demon.
way more fun than Deepwater Horizon for sure. I would
Yeah.
totally see that over it.
It was.
So coming in at number 3, we have something that Richie Skye had to see, since he lost the box office bet last week.
Ooh, both for those guns. Bad guy,
Magnificent
come on.
Seven.
You gotta
Okay.
be careful with those. We got a tiny little studio. Put those away.
All right, so Richie Skye, break
Okay.
it down.
So I thought it was an excellent movie. I'm not into westerns.
Really?
I'll let that be known.
You know
No.
that. You know that now, or you knew that going in.
I knew that going in.
Okay.
And what's it about the Western genre that just don't really like?
I don't know. It just doesn't like resonate with me for some reason. Like I want to see now or future. It's kind of like it makes me feel like past, and I'm not into period pieces.
Now, if they do something like Tombstone, where they kind of amp up the action and stuff, they kind of make it a little cooler. Is that something a little
Yeah,
bit more?
I mean, in this movie, I mean, it had plenty of action, plenty of death. You know, it had a great story and the sort of trifecta.
Did you feel like it wasn't? Maybe it just wasn't very sexy.
No, I mean, I love this movie. I thought it was awesome. But traditionally, when if you tell me that something is a western, I'm kind of like,
Did you ever watch any of the old John Waynes or The Searchers or anything
no.
like
My
that?
my grandparents used to watch that stuff when I was like
Yeah, my
younger,
uncle-
and I'm
my uncle
like,
really liked
what
them.
is this? Why are we watching it?
Why is he riding
Is
a
anyone
horse?
really paying attention
Yeah,
to
I
this?
do think that it is one of those things where you kind of have to have a little bit of nostalgia for it or
Exactly.
something to really be excited.
Get on that Quentin Tarantino train. He loves those westerns.
Well,
Spaghetti
that's true.
westerns.
Right.
Alvin is glad that you saw it. You better have seen it, Richie. So
Yes,
look at
it was.
Alvin.
It was
He
actually
saw
a
it.
really, really good movie. Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, amazing.
Chris Pratt,
Chris
Vincent
Pratt,
D'Onofrio.
amazing. But everybody else was kind of like,
Oh, really? So basically, your two standouts out of the seven would be
I mean,
Denzel
it
and
was
Ethan?
the three of them, I think.
Oh, and Chris Pratt?
Yeah, but everybody else, it's just kind of like they're almost forgettable.
Oh, interesting.
A little bit to me, because you kind of just focus on them. But
I get what you're saying.
otherwise, I mean, it was awesome. I loved it. I like to find myself in the movie, and I felt like it was
You
obviously
couldn't
a
identify
movie.
with anything or...
Right. Like, I mean, I felt like I was in it. So I loved it.
Oh, okay, good.
All right. Well, so there you go, folks. If you were on the
Thank
fence
you
about
to everyone who made me go see it.
yeah,
Back to
love
the
you
Future
all.
3, yeah.
That's right.
That's my kind of Western.
So
Or
now
holes. Like the three
Richie
bits.
Skye. Oh, Richie Skye's a badass and actually beautiful. Look at that.
Ah, thank you,
There's four different
Skye
colored hearts in there.
Patterson.
Dang, I can't sit next to you anymore. You're making me look bad.
Oh
Hi.
my goodness, I feel like Richie Skye is just stealing the chat.
High
from us.
five. High five.
Oh, Richie Skye is not bad to look at on the panel. Let's just spend the rest of the time just basking in the handsomeness
Thank you.
that
That
is
just
Richie
made my
Skye.
day. I can go home happy now. I'm done. Bye.
Monday, done.
Thank you.
So yeah, Magnificent Seven came in number 3, 15.7 million. So still doing pretty well for
I
second week in the box
contributed to
office.
that. Thank you very much.
That's right. Yeah, thanks to Richie Skye.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
now,
all.
thanks to that glowing review, I'm sure many people in the chat who are on the fence,
They should
waiting
go see
for
it.
Richie
It's a
Skye's
really
words
good
of
movie.
wisdom, will not go see
What
it.
if you boosted it up like
I know, right?
$10 million?
It's now trending.
That's right. Coming in at number 4, we had Storks from Warner Brothers Animation there, 13.8 million.
Exciting.
I actually saw that this week.
Wait.
Yes.
It went
Tell
down
us.
minus 35%. That's not bad,
No,
right?
I mean, yeah, less than half. So I mean, for sure I think like we were talking last week. I think this one was going to have a little bit of legs.
And I also think that I think that Miss Peregrine's coming out this weekend also helped out with the kid demo in general.
Yeah. I
60 million.
Everyone can just lay off. I know, okay? I know.
Storks wasn't bad. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's what I liked about it is that it's just a done in one film. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Yeah.
that's which is great.
You
Doesn't
don't
feel
think
like-
there's gonna be storks too?
Or 3 or 4.
Well, even the creators said like, hey, we only have one story to tell with this. I mean, I'm sure if it made like 300-400, $800 million, I'm sure the studio would say like, hey, do you want to do a sequel
Yeah.
for this?
Did you feel like you needed more?
No, that was good. It was exactly what I got.
Was it funny?
There were some funny moments in there.
Why
and-
did you go see it?
But because I care about the animated art form. Because I care.
You
because
lost
I,
a bet.
No,
You lost a different box
No,
office
I'm really
bet.
just trying to
Yeah,
figure
I
out,
boxed
like,
off a bet
out of
behind
all
your
the
back.
movies that you could have seen, what made you say, I'm going to go see Storks?
Because you know what? I care about our audience here in Box Office Breakdown. I don't want to make sure they get a well-rounded view of all the
I
films
don't
in our top
believe
5.
you at all. I
I'm
don't
giving you a
believe
slow
you.
clap for that one.
Thank you, Richie Skye. I did it for you, folks. I did it for you. I actually did.
I feel like somebody made you go see it.
Well, not so much made, or sort of asked me to. I did another show on the Popcorn Talk Network, Anatomy of a Movie. And so that we were breaking down Storks. And
Truth comes out.
I know,
there you
right?
go. There you go. So,
All right.
you know, but you don't have to twist my arm to go see an animated movie. So
Yeah.
I will.
All right.
Everybody has their things here.
Except for the wildlife. That one you had to twist my arm, and that was a horrible experience. I did not. So that compared to Storks, that right there tells you. I mean, the wildlife crushed my soul watching it. Storks enjoyed it tremendously.
Good.
Yes.
Kid movies
There
are
you go.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for Hotel Transylvania 2. That movie
I'm not afraid to say I
I'll live with
got
it.
a little misty-eyed at the end of Storks, which is always going to say, I feel like if a movie can draw that little, because I'm dead inside, if it can draw even that little bit of moisture from my eye ducts, then it's a job well done.
Well,
Agreed.
there we have it.
Look at that. So look at that. Look at us. We've all seen something from the top 5 this week. Guys, look at us.
Oh my God.
Let's just take a moment to bask in our awesomeness.
It's crazy that's
doing what we're supposed to do.
That's right. Hey, let's celebrate us for a few minutes, right,
Yeah.
guys?
We do it all for you and for Anatomy of a Movie, but mainly for you.
That's right. Quinn, don't ruin this for me. Let's see this. Skye, he's going to go see Deepwater, Miss Peregrine's, and Magnificent Seven. How about Stork, Skye?
No one
I
wants
love
to
films.
see that.
I don't hate on films. I either like, dislike, or love, or give praise to a film or its director.
You know what's funny though is that it made 13. Like, so it's still doing quite well.
Yeah, I think
Considering, you know what I mean? Like, that's not bad.
No, I think it has enough juice to hopefully stay in
From
the top
the
5 next
people
week.
of the studio who are next to the studio who brought you the Lego movie. Come
Yes.
on, those guys. You know those guys.
From the guy that once shared a bathroom
Yeah.
stall with the guy from...
That's exactly
Yes.
right.
And also from Warner Brothers, we're talking about those films. Coming in at number 5 is Sully, Tom Hanks and Clint
Sully.
Eastwood's joint. It came in
surprise there,
8.4
really.
million.
Good for
surprise.
Sully. Good for Sully. What week? Fourth week?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
still
Going
holding on
strong.
strong.
Good job, Tom.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to have enough juice, though, to stay in the top 5 next week.
Oh, certainly not.
No,
Wah, wah.
not with what the stuff that we have coming down the pipe. And speaking of that, folks,
Sully's gonna take a nosedive.
look at
Handsome
that.
and funny.
He's a total catch. So, as I mentioned, Richie Skye saw Magnificent Seven because of our box office bet, and we'll be getting into that a little later on in the show, where you in the chat will have a decision to make about which film we will do our box office bet on. The 3 films we'll be choosing from are going to be Birth of a Nation, The Girl on the Train, and Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life.
So
Let me
there's
tell
2
y'all.
that would be okay, and 1 that
Let
we'd
me-
all be a
let
little
me
bit
tell
bummed about.
you.
Yeah.
Correct?
People
Do
in
not,
the-
don't, because they will. You say it, they will do exactly what you don't want them to do,
Yeah,
Richie
you're
Skye.
right. I'm not gonna say which one I don't want to see.
I was gonna try
No.
my attempt at subtle manipulation.
Oh, Richie, that has failed every time you've done it, and you've killed me.
Gotta
You've killed
bribe
me,
'em,
'cause
gotta bribe 'em.
I've suffered for those weeks when you've done that manipulation.
You see how this has worked?
That's right. Yeah. Oh, so conveniently, when he doesn't do it, he gets the same movie that he's excited about.
See, it stinks when Carrie's not here because that makes it easier to kind of coast through the middle with your guests.
No, not anymore. There's no place left to hide.
Yeah,
kid.
I can run, but you can't hide.
No, we've suffered.
Yeah. That's
We
right.
on the ends have suffered.
Yes.
Okay, well, 60 million. So,
Wait.
suffering through embarrassment.
That's right. All right. So we'll move over to our international numbers here as we're talking about Miss Peregrine's and that $60 million it made here in the domestic box office where it just crushed the competition. It was number 1 internationally as well with $36.5 million in 59 markets, where Korea is being the highlight for that. It's already bested the lifetimes of Alice Through the Looking Glass, Cinderella, and Snow White and the Huntsman.
I mean, it's
That's kinda
doing
bizarre,
great
isn't it?
someplace.
Yeah, although, those are 3 films where I don't feel like the bar was set really high.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, at least personally. And overall, the adaptation is also comparing well to Fox's own Maze Runner. So if you're a fan of that in terms of, those kind of franchises.
Are we a fan of the Maze Runner?
It's so sad. I keep DVRing it, and then as my space fills up, I find another showing later in the future, and I delete it and keep saying. I've been doing that for like 3 months, where I keep on delaying the recording just so I have time to watch it.
It's pretty good.
I always find
It's
something else to
okay.
watch.
Yeah.
I think in terms of this genre that we kind of got into there, I mean, like Hunger Games, obviously.
Yeah.
Kind of trumps that, but I do like Dylan O'Brien. I watched him on Teen Wolf, and that was the reason why I decided to go see Maze Runner. 'Cause
I
I thought
never
he was
got
pretty
into
good.
Teen Wolf. Maybe I should because I feel like people really like on it.
It's
He got
getting into
really
its final
hurt, though.
season.
Really
Really?
hurt. Something happened with the filming of the 2nd or 3rd movie. It must have been the 3rd movie of Maze Runner. He got hurt, and they had to shut down filming.
Like indefinitely.
I have no idea. They have released no new information about it, but I
Okay.
keep looking it up because I'm so curious.
That's crazy. Don't do your own stunts, people.
Yeah.
That's right. Quinn has not been able to move on with any other aspect of her life.
No.
She barely made it out to Miss Peregrine's.
Barely. And even that, I had the book clutched to my chest.
Now, Deepwater Horizon, it came in at $12.4 million in 52 markets. The UK, Russia, and Mexico being its key players in that. And as we're talking about China for a little bit here, tops from China, there was a I Belong to You, came in at 33.6. It's a romantic comedy directed by Yibai Zhang, who has also had a bunch of youth-targeted hits in China as well. And Lionsgate get in the action with the Chinese fantasy pick Lord, Legend of Ravaging Dynasties.
Ooh.
That actually sounds good, and I feel like I'm missing out on something by not being able to see it. I do.
Well, hopefully, I guess there's got to be a way to see Chinese films. Yes.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Maybe
There's a way to see every movie.
I guess so. Yeah, is it impossible? Yes.
I'm sure I'll be able to find it somewhere, like maybe in a couple of months, but I will have forgotten about it by then.
I think Netflix has been pretty good about getting some of those Korean shows and stuff.
Yeah,
so maybe
I feel like I would
there.
like to see that as long as. Yeah.
I see that title though, Lord of Ravaging Dynasties, and then I just think of the PlayStation series of games, Dynasty Warriors. Anybody ever watch that?
I don't know that one.
Basically, you're just like in feudal China, and you run around with different sorts of weapons, and you beat up other armies, henchmen, and stuff. A lot of fun game.
Pretty much the premise for every game.
Yeah, it's a just a crunching kind of game where you're just constantly running around beating up people, powering up your guy. I can't get enough. And then also in India and the UK, Fox International Productions and Fox Star released a cricketer biopic. MS Dhoni, The Untold Story. It got $14.5 million, which I've seen.
You're gonna
cricketing.
have to help me out. Cricketer, like a person who plays cricket.
Yes.
That's called a cricketer.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there must have been a name for that, of course.
What did you imagine we would call
a cricket player?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. About feeling like a golf player, a golfer.
Yeah, golfer. Yeah, cricketer. Yeah, that's less clunky. I like that. Cricketer.
There's a lot to say. It's a mouthful, I feel like.
Which one?
That one.
Oh.
I can't even say it. It's too much. I feel like it would require too much effort.
It's not really our thing in the U.S. We don't really dabble in the cricket.
No, I've never watched much of a cricket game ever. I mean, just enough to know they have that long paddle and they hit it, but I've never really watched one for any length of time.
And it's an interesting throw.
It would be a danger for me to play.
Why?
I would hit somebody.
Oh, deliberately?
But what about baseball?
I feel like with baseball, the hitting with the bat is contained to one space. I feel like with cricket, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Just ask a cricketer.
It's a little less predictable.
Exactly.
Okay.
Albin chimed in there. I guess Maze Runner is still pending. So,
oh man.
All right.
The weird thing is that they just haven't released any.
Ooh. Interesting. The Divergent series is officially canceled. No third film.
Raise your hand if you're upset about that. Are you upset about that?
I can't imagine why.
I'm so happy
because there was talk about it going direct to TV to finish out, and I know that
that probably would have been a better solution.
Yeah, but
with a different lead actress.
Oh yeah, I mean,
we've harshed Hermello a couple times.
I mean, the stars were saying I didn't sign up for this series of films to do a TV movie, so I know that they weren't that jazzed.
Stars are doing TV shows all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, how much does that say about your franchise of films where it starts off 2 films and then the last one goes, hey, we're going to do direct to TV?
Well, you have to take some of the blame for it, actors.
Yeah.
No, the source material wasn't there. It really just wasn't. I mean, they were just trying so hard to glob on to the.
But sometimes maybe the actors or the actresses just don't have the chemistry that's needed to sell the movie.
No, that's definitely true. I think lots of things have failed.
And not to take away from them
They're doing
as
another
actors or actresses.
50 Shades of Grey, and that was terrible. So it's who knows?
But I feel like the source material was such a strong selling point that.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase.
I don't need to glob 50 Shades of Grey. It does not have anything to do with Divergent.
But no, what you're saying makes sense because it's real and it's coming. So we're gonna have to talk about it at some point. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like because the books were such huge sellers, I feel like the people want it regardless. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Just more.
It's just kind of like soft porn.
Yeah.
It
wasn't even good.
An extended version of very meager soft porn.
No, there you go. Just imagine. Just a lot of butts flexing. You just see that. For soft porn.
The book was the same way though. Now that I think about it.
I tried to read it because I wanted to see what the hype was. I didn't even make it halfway through.
I don't know. I can't take too many more movies based on a dystopian future where teenagers have to find out somebody's a chosen one.
But that was the new vampire thing. We went through a vampire phase and then we went to the dystopia phase. What's our new phase?
That was gonna be my question. What is the new phase?
Take your prediction, Richie Skye. If you
I don't know. I don't know what the new phase is. I don't know what people are into right now.
I mean,
nothing is selling.
Yeah, what's the
new thing gonna be? Somebody tell us.
Maybe some more movies like Nerve. Maybe a lot more of this technological.
I don't even think that did that well.
I know. I just was thinking of like what was the newest style I could think of. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think is going to be the new hit thing?
Oh yeah, chime in there on the
What's
chat.
the cool
somebody
jams?
tell us.
What is everybody talking about?
Anybody.
In the meantime, I'll round out our international talk here with Finding Dory. We've been talking about that a lot this summer. It's finally splashed into Germany and set a new bar for 2016, as well as crossing $500 million internationally, putting the 1 billion worldwide mark within just as they say, Finn's reach. And there's no growing pains for Bridget Jones' Baby, at third straight weekend as #1 in the UK. So I know Media Shack will be excited about that. Because I'm sure, Media Shack, you've gone to see
3 times.
Bridget Jones' Baby. 3 times. Yes. You're responsible for having it be #1 for 3 weeks in a row.
Yep.
It has crossed over $100 billion overseas. So,
There you go.
who
100.
knows? Yeah.
100 how much?
100 million overseas.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, there could be a chance, given at least its international appeal that, I know it's been 14 years or since the last one.
Jeez.
Maybe there might be enough interest to eke out a 5th one. Or 4th one?
Everyone on the chat is saying the new thing is going to be graphic novels. I think that is the case with TV. I don't know if we've seen. Maybe The Watchmen. Well, how many graphic novels have been like movies?
I don't know. The Watchmen was so exhausting to watch.
Ooh, Mad Max Fury Road. That was graphic novels and sci-fi and horror.
Yeah.
No, some graphic novels I know were mentioned in the chat, like Why the Last Man. I know there was talk about David Caruso possibly adapting that with Shia LaBeouf at one point. That was being talked about.
Oh, okay.
Which I would not want to have seen Shia LaBeouf as Yorick Brown. That would not have been exciting. But it's a really cool story. In the right hands, I could think it could be a lot of fun.
Totally.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I also
as a movie or as a series?
It's tough because you think like Preacher, they tried so many times to make that as a film, and there's just too much.
There's just too much. I think when you're a filmmaker and you're looking at all this source material, it's just like you can't. You don't want to like kill this baby for that baby. There's a saying that I'm not remembering, but you know what I mean. Like you just there's just so much good stuff there.
About where that was going,
and especially because you have these fans, these passionate fans who are like so excited to see like this specific thing or this specific thing, and you kind of have to like cater to them, but also make your thing the way you want to make your thing. It's tough.
Yeah, and I don't think you don't have, if you're doing like a Marvel or DC character, you can lean into like that wider universe, and you've got a lot of name recognition kind of coming in. If you kind of like, certainly more with Marvel. DC's been kind of on and off about their films. But hear about a Marvel film, generally enough, you're willing to give that a little benefit of the doubt, even if it's a character you don't know much about, like say like Ant-Man or Doctor Strange.
Totally.
You're still willing to kind of go along because Marvel's built up a lot of equity. Like, all right, I think it's going to be a fun film regardless.
Yeah.
Coming
There's
with
so
Preacher,
much more than just the movies. Like I said, like the Comic-Con, and there's this whole fandom thing. It's like it's not just going to see a movie. It's going in for this whole fan experience, which is really a draw.
Female superheroes.
Female superheroes.
Wonder Woman, that'll be out next year. I'm hoping that'll be good.
Have you guys been watching Supergirl or?
Yes, love the show. So, and what I liked about it is that the first episode did not like take forever to get her in action. It was like within less than 7 minutes, she was up flying, saving a plane. Boom.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe I need to go
Where
back
are you
and
at
watch it.
with the origin stories? You're not like totally a big fan of the.
Well, there's some characters I feel like you don't need the origin story for. Like, I never need to see Batman's origin again. I never seem to see Superman's origin.
Spider-Man.
I never see
I
Spider-Man.
don't really care to see that either. You can give me origin and flashback, but I want to see now fighting.
Another thing I want to say about Miss Peregrine's, now that we're talking about this, is that it felt like a lot of exposition to teach you about this world, which is okay if you're going to get a bunch of sequels and stuff, but this felt like a one-off.
Yeah.
So it was really frustrating to be like, oh my God, can we just be here? Like,
I think that's tough because you don't know if you're going to get a chance to do a sequel to that film. So, like, why spend all that time setting stuff up?
It felt like a lot of world building, a lot of explanation, which is sometimes fun, but like I said, but it was too much. And also they did that thing where, like, they had the peculiar people have their big battle in front of, for lack of a better term, the Muggles.
Okay.
And that really bothers me. Like, I just want like the worlds to be like either separate or whatever.
You want them to be like a hidden society that people we don't know about.
Yeah, and the same thing that bothered me about I think that was Finding Dory. Like, it was just too much human interaction. Like, you just want it to be like a separate world.
You didn't want them going to an aquarium and having all this stuff. Like, there's too many people. There's too many people I'm seeing walking around.
I'm not going to harp on this too much. I feel like I'm talking too much about this.
No, no, we're not enough, Quinn. The chat room is begging you to talk more.
The chat room is having a completely different conversation than anything we're talking about. They are on their own.
I see words, but I can't see them.
So now, as we're getting closer to our box office bet, the one thing we're going to do before we get there is start predicting next week's top 5. And prior to that, we always like to do a list kind of inspired by one of the films coming out, kind of a top 5 retrospective of an actor that's going to be in one of the films we'll be prognosticating about in the upcoming weekend. And so I thought, hey, why not we do Emily Blunt? since she's going to be in The Girl on the Train.
Which is an interesting choice because Emily Blunt has had a really great career, I think, but I still feel like we're just getting to know her.
Very true. And in fact, out of her top 5, 2 of them, one was just a cameo, another one was a voice, so I'm kind of going to discount those. So I listed the top 7, but I'm going to knock out the voice role that she did and as well as the cameo that she did.
Okay.
So she did the cameo in the Muppets film. That was her 3rd highest grossing one. She did her voice in Romeo and Juliet. But she's going to take those out. We're just going to talk about her live action appearances. And we'll start off at number 7 for this would be the Adjustment Bureau. From Universal back in 2011, opened up with $21.1 million. I like this movie.
Pretty good movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the music in there was really good, especially that sequence where they're running through. The 2 of them are on foot, kind of running through all the different doors. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Quinn?
I never saw it, but I know it. I know of it. Is that one I should need to go back and revisit?
I think you should. I think it's worth the look.
It's worth it.
Okay.
Definitely very enjoyable. Coming in at number 5, The Devil Wears Prada.
Which is a movie I watch about 10 times a year.
Hands down, probably one of the best movies ever made.
I mean,
that movie is so hilarious to me, and Emily Blunt, to me, really stole the show in this.
Completely
just
especially because we didn't really know who she was.
We didn't know who she was.
She was just so
She had
funny.
the best lines in that movie, the best expressions, even above Meryl Streep, I have to say. So,
no, not above Meryl Streep.
Listen,
Are you kidding?
I don't
Meryl
know.
Streep kills it in that movie.
Listen, I know that Meryl is like the dominating character in that movie, but I think it's because you don't expect.
I would say, she's kind of a VIP. I mean, MVP. You know, she's kind of like
She's like
unsung hero. Totally.
Exactly.
Yes. Happy Mean Girls Day. Absolutely. It's October 3rd, everyone.
That's right. I saw it at the haircut place they had. Just running right there. So
there you go.
One of the best days of the year.
Even Floyd's Barbershop knows the importance of Mean Girls Day. Good to know. That opened up when it opened up back in 2006, $27.5 million. I still have not seen that movie. So
Wait, what?
Yep, haven't seen it.
Whoa, record scratch. You've never seen
I've
Devil
never
Wears
seen
Prada?
it. No, I've never seen it.
Why would
Freaking
you
kidding me?
like
I
not
would
give
never
yourself
kill
the
that.
satisfaction? It's such a fantastic movie. We watch it it's like a Christmas favorite now.
Because I like to be masochistic to myself.
Clearly.
And if I'm going to
Give
watch
yourself this gift.
You're destroying your life.
You deserve it.
No.
You deserve to watch The Devil Wears Prada.
if I'm going to watch a Christmas classic, it's going to be Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. So
Listen, first of all, just go home and watch it tonight. Do yourself a favor.
It's
You will
just so good. I'm
yes,
like,
Richie Skye.
I'm getting like residual enjoyment from this movie, and I haven't seen it in a couple months. It's
Right,
just
from
that
all
good.
of us here at Popcorn Talk, watch the damn movie.
Watch the movie!
Thank you, Mark. All right, fine, guys.
Like that should be the quote unquote punishment this week. Is
Oh,
no matter what,
exactly.
Frank watches.
You
Devil
have
Wears
to
Prada.
watch The Devil Wears Prada, and then
You
we're just
have
gonna
to
have
see
a
it.
whole show just devoted. We're gonna go back and do Anatomy of a Film retroactively.
Within the Popcorn Talk next week,
Yeah.
box office breakdown. Yes. All right.
You're going to love it, though.
All right. I guess I have got my walking papers, or marching orders, as they say.
Yep.
Coming in at number 3 for her was, number 4, was Edge of Tomorrow. Her and Tom Cruise.
That was
Came
a pretty
out,
good movie.
2014, $28.7 million.
Yeah, I liked that one.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it, too.
The the only thing I didn't like is just like the very ending of it there, like
Yeah.
But otherwise I thought it was a really fun idea.
Novel
And
concept.
Yes, and I've never read the manga that it's based off of.
I haven't.
No,
Yeah,
neither.
I did buy it, but I still haven't read it. So many things to do, so many times. That's probably why I haven't seen Devil Wears Prada. I've got.
Because you were busy not doing all the other stuff.
That's right. Yep. Because I just put it on the pile of things that I will get to someday in my life.
Procrastinating, not prognosticating.
Oof, Richie Skye got me. Look at that. I hoisted on my own petard. Look at that. Coming in at number 2, Into the Woods. Came out from Buena Vista, Disney Pictures there, back in 2014. $31 million.
That was a fun one.
It was a...
I mean, it was a one-watch. It was a one-time watch for me. Maybe if I was younger.
I did not see this movie.
Have you ever seen the play?
Nope.
Works better as a play.
there's not really many movies I will walk out of. It takes a lot, and I just like...
You walked out of
I
Into
left
the
it.
Woods?
I was like, nah, I'm good, and I left.
You know, I gotta say, I just think James Corden is really charming, and he has chemistry with everybody, and I liked him in it. And I guess like just as my to my middle school musical theater loving self, I had to just kind of enjoy it, I guess, for that bit. But, yeah, I would say it was definitely a one-time watch, but it was still good. It was still good. The music's so good.
I don't know. I mean, I think if I'd rather watch Sweeney Todd before I'd watch Into the Woods again.
How dark.
Sweeney Todd is good too, but now we can't watch any more Tim Burton movies. He's ruined it.
Well, true. But I mean, there's still that duet between Johnny Depp and Alan Rickman. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was wanting a moment like that when I was watching Into the Woods, and I never really got something like that. And so I was like, no, all right, I think I'll move on with my life.
Fair enough.
And check out. And then number one, which surprised me on this one, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but coming in number one for Emily Blunt was The Wolfman.
I didn't see this.
Back in 2010.
I love a good werewolf movie.
You know, I wanted to like this so much more than I did, and I was so excited about it. I think like a modern day retelling of a classic Universal horror film. I was so jazzed about it. You got Anthony Hopkins, you got Benicio del Toro.
It had all the ingredients, but it didn't come together for you.
It just didn't. It was a kind of a dud movie and really
Can
disappointed
you just
me.
lower your expectations, please?
Oh yeah. Can I just go in expecting mediocrity from my film entertainment?
Sometimes you do have to do that. That's when things are the best.
Sometimes you do. Like sometimes
That's
you
probably
just
why I
have
like
to.
storks.
I'm sorry that I get excited about potential films.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just have to go in and say, "I'm just gonna be here."
Yeah, but Captain America: Civil War. How did you tell me you went in there just thinking mediocre film? You were
not.
jazzed. You were jazzed to go see that.
But see, sometimes me being jazzed about it will increase the jazzy feeling, even if it wasn't so jazzy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can
I'm just
understand that.
excited. I'm a fan.
No,
so
I applaud that you
there's
can.
no way you could have disappointed me with that.
No,
Do you go see it with friends who are as excited, or do you go alone?
I'll go by myself. I mean,
I go to movies
really don't
alone. I
care.
almost think that if I have friends who are really, really into it, I will just kind of go with the energy. If they're sitting next to me and they're so into it, I'm like really into it. If they're sitting next to me and I can tell that they're not digging it, sometimes that creeps over to me. Does anybody else ever get that? No?
It's catching.
It catches me, yeah. Yeah, the energy like changes. That's why I feel like, I don't know, maybe I just should go see every movie alone. And just really
Leave
see
your
how...
friends, Quinn.
Yeah.
Leave your friends.
Surprisingly, a lot of talk here in the chat about the Wolfman. Media shock. The Wolfman is deep, great acting and pace. Oh, media shock. Well, I'm gonna have to agree
Thank
to
you,
disagree with you
Media
on
Shock.
this. Albin though said
knew I
Storks was
loved
funny,
you.
guys. Albin, look at you. I knew there's a reason that I liked you. You're my favorite chat member.
Wait, Sky says they're going to be a reboot in 2018?
Yeah, Universal's kind of rebooting their whole monster movie lineup. The idea is to try to kind of, I mean, a lot of studios are looking for their own franchises that they have. And of course,
Part of me
Oh,
loves that
baby.
idea, and part of me hates that idea. We'll see what happens.
I mean, you just gotta make it good.
I mean, they're starting with The Mummy, and Tom Cruise is going to be in that. So it should be interesting to
I'm
see
not
how that's
mad at that. I'm kind of intrigued by that. Like, is it gonna go in a kooky, funny direction, or is it gonna go? I mean, I feel like with Tom Cruise, it's not gonna go in that direction.
No, and I'm curious to see are they going to keep it more associated back in like the 30s and stuff when those things kind of came out, or are they going to try to make modern day versions of everything?
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see which approach they kind of do. But the idea is to kind of put everything in its own universe.
Intrigued, and I'm
It's
gonna have to go
interesting.
investigate. I love monster movies.
Alvin says it's annoying to watch a movie with the person that hates it and you like it. Yes, that drives me absolutely crazy.
And now you know that you can never be friends with this person ever again.
When I was younger, I was so
Whatever
excited. When I was young, I was so excited to go see The Phantom Menace. I dragged my friends who were not fans to go see that movie with me, and they talked the whole time and like messed around with their like straws and their popcorn, and I was about to murder someone. I have never been so upset in
But
my
Quinn,
life.
wasn't that on you? Where like, I dragged my friends who weren't into this movie.
Like, for me, in my head, I was like, who wouldn't love this? Who doesn't love this? Everybody loves this, of course.
But you
I
knew
hope
they
that
did
you
like
drop
it.
those friends too, Quinn.
Are you still friends with them today?
Yes.
And when was the last time you went and saw a movie with them?
I haven't since,
They're
probably.
gonna. She knows they're gonna bring you
I
down.
know, and I was just like, can you just do, I was almost like, just for me, do this for me. Like, that was terrible.
I mean, I remember seeing. I was so excited. You know, I feel like Richie. I wish I could be like you, just being so jazzed that it just increases my enjoyment in the theater. I get so jazzed, and then I find myself always disappointed when it doesn't live up to my expectations. So it's just me. I'm the opposite of that way. So I walk out feeling like.
I think it's a movie by movie basis. I mean, sometimes you go in and things are just way better than you even hoped they could be, and sometimes you're just like, but wait, that's it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh, very true.
that's what watching movies is. Thank you so much, and have a good night, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Quinn Scillian, everybody, with her box office thought of the day.
Yep.
All right, so folks, we've kind of taken through a little look through Emily Blunt's past, but now we're going to look to the future. Ooh. And we're going to be looking at what box office, our top 5 box office is going to be next weekend. When we're sitting here next Monday, we're looking back on these figures. Are we going to be laughing at how ridiculous our prognostications were? Are we going to be high-fiving each other, basking in our unadulterated wisdom?
Let's do all of those things.
Yes. Are we going to? Yes. So what we have here, in addition to the top 5 movies that we already have for this week, we also have, as I mentioned before, The Birth of a Nation, The Girl on the Train, Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life.
What do you guys think about The Birth of a Nation? We've had a lot of controversy surrounding
get
this.
Flack for this, but I really have no desire to see it. Personally, because
does it feel like it's just another 12 Years a Slave or something?
It does to a certain degree for me. I think that I wish that there were other stories that they would tell, within the urban community. I just do. I'm very supportive of the actors and the storytelling and the whole project. But for me, I cannot sit through that movie. I can't.
Yeah.
We also have this whole Nate Parker, old rape allegation case that's been coming up.
Yeah, which is kind of just.
I really don't know how much
murking up the whole
Yeah, it just feels like there's already so much
celebration of what the movie could be. But in terms of the things that happen in the movie and watching the trailers and reading about it, I just can't watch it personally.
And there's also this whole, I forget who had the article, maybe the New Yorker or something, this whole idea where it's just like, we really, The Birth of a Nation has to inspire and not incite, and that's like a whole thing as well. It feels like there's just, I'm going to be so interested to see the reactions from this.
Yeah.
It did so well at Sundance. It killed at Sundance.
Well, I think it's going to do well, but I'm just saying
not
that
just
me
do
as
well I don't mean just numbers.
Yeah, I think critically it's going to do well. I just think that me as a person, I can't watch that. I just can't.
No, I can understand that. Yeah, as much as I say it's getting all the critical buzz and everything, it's still not making me want to I gotta go see this. I like
the trailer though. I don't know.
The trailer. Listen.
The trailer makes it look.
The trailer is intense.
Yeah, it's really intense.
And because of that, I feel like that's why I can't go see it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I totally see where you're coming. I still kind of want to see it just because when I hear Sundance, I hear that sounds like something that we're gonna have to keep our eye out. That sounds like something that we're gonna be talking about come February. And all that stuff. So I think in that way I kind of want to go see it. But I will probably see Girl on the Train before.
Now, I really do want to see Girl on the Train.
Did you read the book?
I did not read the book. And that's kind of why I'm excited about it. Because this is one of those times where I did not pick up the book purposely because I knew I wanted to see the movie. I heard about the book. And then once I heard about the movie, I was like, I'm not going to read this book.
Yeah.
Because I will do that and then be not really disappointed, but I'll be looking for those aspects of...
you're going to compare and contrast, of course.
I don't want to do that.
I think that, I was reading the book and I was just like, oh my gosh, Gone Girl is so much better than this.
Oh, interesting.
And I still want to go see the movie. I'm really, really excited to see how they did it. And like I said, Emily Blunt, I think she's adorable. I'm really excited to see it because this is a much different role than I've ever seen her do before. It's a very, very conflicted character. And I think it's going to be really, really cool, even though it is without a doubt impossible to watch or read this movie book without thinking about Gone Girl. There's just so much of this whole, untrustworthy narrative, and it's just very, very similar.
Now, Richie, for you, if you see a movie based on a book, you don't read the book first, you go see the movie. Afterwards,
sometimes I will.
Will you go back and read the book after you've seen the movie?
I will not go back and read the book.
Interesting. You'd rather just have the film.
Read it if I have to. If I'm gonna if I'm investigating it, I'm gonna read the book first and then I'll see the movie. But I probably won't go back and read the book after seeing the movie.
Interesting.
Because by that point I already know the story. I feel like the thrill with reading a book is that you really don't know.
True. I guess it varies from book to book. Certainly things that are adaptations. I usually like reading those because you get a chance to read some of the stuff they didn't get a chance to include in the script and stuff. You get a little bit more inside the characters' heads.
Oh, totally.
Which I feel like one example, if we're getting really nerdy here, the Revenge of the Jedi. I felt like I felt like Anakin's sway to the dark side just happened so quickly and just you really didn't see the steps in there. But the novelization I think did a lot more in fleshing into what was going in through Anakin's head. So it was easier to do that in a novel.
Right.
Harder
Frank,
to show
I'm
in a
going to
film.
check you before the comments do. Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, because
Revenge
Revenge
of the
Jedi
Jedi
was the alternate title, with the
for
original title for
Return
the
of the
Jedi. Thank you,
Frank.
Mark. Thank you. You saved the day.
But what does that do to you your view of the movie? Like, do you hate the movie now because of that?
No, I don't hate the movie. I mean, well, I didn't think much of the movie going after I watched it. I was kind of like, it was all right. But I just appreciate just more in terms of knowing more about the characters' motivations.
Yeah.
It only makes me frustrated that we didn't get to see more of that in the film.
I had a little girl sitting next to me during Mrs. Peregrine's who had read the book, and she kept saying, "Oh, that's different. Oh, they totally left that out." And I was like, "Girl, if you don't," I swear, I was about to lose it.
All right. Let's make our predictions here. Richie Skye, what do you think is going to be our top
caught
five?
off guard. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to say The Girl on the Train at number 1. I'm going to say Birth of a Nation at number 2. I have to tell you, I'm very clueless.
Birth of a Nation that high? Interesting.
Yeah, I think so. This middle school, I don't know nothing about it. So
It's got Andy Daly in
You
it.
don't know anything about it, but you also know everything about it. You know what I mean? Like, you know exactly what it is. And Skye, I totally agree with you.
So I'm gonna go with. I feel like Miss Peregrine's is gonna do a nosedive unless Quinn goes to see it again. So interestingly enough, I'm going to go with. I know this sounds really, really crazy. I'm gonna go with Magnificent Seven. I'm gonna go with. Then the middle school thing, and then I'm gonna go with Storks.
Whoa.
Oh, all right. Still keeping Stork strong in that top 5. So
Don't ask me about my rationale.
I would never dream of it.
No.
I'm actually gonna put all 3 of the new movies in my top 5.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go Girl on the Train. I'm gonna go Miss Peregrine's. I'm gonna go Birth of a Nation, Middle School, Deepwater Horizon.
Wow. Interesting. I do not think, as much of the critical buzz that Birth of a Nation is, I don't think it's going to set the world on fire in the box office.
Do you think it's going to be top 5, though?
I don't think it's going to be top 5.
Okay.
I still think it can do well in the award circuit and stuff like that, but I just don't think it's going to burn up the box office initially.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be one of those, like, later on, as it's getting a lot of critical acclaim, it's getting nominated for Golden Globes, Oscars. People
Then
are
we're
going to
start seeing it.
You're
Yeah.
gonna see it.
How many are we? Is this even a wide release? How many theaters are we doing
It's
here for Birth of a Nation?
2000.
It was 2000, so that was for me. Like I always look at the number
Yeah.
of theaters, and then I feel like the movie has been getting a lot of press. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also how many people are going to feel like you do, Richie, where it's just like, they know about the movie, but
that's a
they
good
doesn't mean they
question.
want to see it.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. I might move it to number 5. We'll go Girl on the Train, Miss Peregrine's, Middle School, Deepwater, Birth of a Nation. I want to keep it in my top 5, but not in number 3.
Gotcha. I will go with, I'm going to say Girl on the Train, Deepwater Horizon.
No
actually,
way.
No.
Deepwater Horizon.
No, it's like
okay.
it's not going to jump over
Sorry,
Miss
I
Peregrine's.
just jumped in on you,
No.
and I really am sorry.
No, I'll go with as I was saying, Girl on the Train, Miss Peregrine's, Deepwater Horizon, The Magnificent Seven, Storks, and then I'm going to say Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life.
All right. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I think that's just going to barely eke out into the top 5.
I think you might be right. Yours sounds pretty good.
Yeah, so that was our picks for the box office prediction. But now we're getting into the favorite part of the show that Richie Skye cannot get enough of.
Oh my God, we just ran out of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when the show ends,
Darn.
we usually spend about another 45 minutes after the show is over where Richie Skye just talks about how much he loves the box office bet.
We did.
Yes. So, folks, as always, if you want to hop in the chat, start responding about what film we should do our box office bet on. The films, again, are The Birth of a Nation, The Girl on the Train, Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. The way the game works, though, is that we're all going to place a bet on what we think the opening box office will be. The person who's farthest away from the actual total will go see that film, and we get to hear them talk about it the following week, and then we all get to join in on the fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we've all seen it. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll
Except
see.
we don't have to, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Knuckles.
right. Woo!
And
So-
none for Gretchen Wieners.
That's right. So, folks, we're going to give you about another 15 seconds there. Hop on the chat real quick there.
Yes, tell us what movie you want us to see.
Yes, which one we want to do? The Girl on the Train,
Girl on the Train,
Middle School.
Middle School. Oh, you would, Alvin.
Oh,
There was
all
a
right.
bunch of Girl on the Train.
Yeah, I was seeing a lot of girls on the Girl on the Train.
Well, I think because that could have such a varying release. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it could be really well. Mm-hmm. It could do.
There's no way this
Birth
movie
of a
isn't going to
Nation.
do well.
But it could do middle of the road well.
I
mean,
think it's gonna do
I don't-
really well.
Do you think
So
it's going
much
to do
hype,
Miss
the
Peregrine
book.
well? 60 million?
No, I don't think it's going to do $6 million, but I do think it really is going to do really, really well.
I
think
do
this
too.
movie
I
is going to
believe
make
it
a
is.
lot of money.
I believe it is. It's been marketed well. I mean, it's based on the book. You know, it's got all the ingredients of a great
And
movie.
I've been seeing, not just trailers, I've been seeing posters for this movie
I've
all
seen it
around
too.
LA for like a year. Stop trying to make fetch happen. True.
Right
That's
now
a-
in the chat, it looks like we have a tie between middle school and Girl on the Train.
That's what I saw. So we're going to see who chimes in next.
All right, we're waiting on
Yes.
you.
So otherwise, then we'll deck our back. It'd just be like birthday.
I know it's going to be. I'm sorry.
Don't, Quinn, stop trying.
I'm putting it out into the universe.
Yeah. Good vibes, please.
Positive vibes.
All right, and it is middle school.
Nope, that's a double vote from Albin.
Oh,
That is
sorry,
a double
Albin.
vote from Albin.
There you go.
Bye,
Albin.
Albin.
We can't repeatedly say the movie that we wanted us to vote on. We only one vote per person. I should also stress that in the rules as well. It's us.
Why don't you start on your predictions, and I'll keep an eye on the chat.
But wait, don't we have to choose the movie based on what?
Yes.
Fair play.
There you go. That's,
Fair play.
so in the meantime,
Just pick the movie.
there you go. You know, I feel like, well, I mean, if we're keeping
Do something good, Frank.
something good, that's something good.
Something good.
All right, and the winner.
Train, there it is.
There we go.
Boom.
All right, Nelvin. Locks it down. Nelvin, what took you so long?
Thank you very much.
All right. Go see Girl on
Yeah,
the
got it.
Train.
All
Thank you,
right.
Sky.
Thank
All right.
you,
Hammering
Chad.
it.
It's easy now, Sky. Where were you when we knew that hard choice needed to be made? Just relaxing, letting Nelvin
'Cause I
come and do
was
all the hard work.
sweating over here.
Too.
All right, so before a few notes before we do the predictions, the last two Emily Blunt films, The Huntsman, Winter's War, and Sicario, they opened up to both 19.4 million and 401,000. Respectively, so certainly Sicario a little bit more of a limited release before it went
Yeah.
wide. It still did well. It ended up making, did
Those
well at the
movies
box
have
office.
nothing to do with this movie besides Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt being in it, but just how much of a box office draw she can be in,
Yeah.
who knows? So with those kind of numbers just kind of milling about in your head, let's make a prediction on that. Richie Skye, since you lost last week's box office bet, you get to take the last
I
pick.
definitely lost.
So,
yay.
oh no, actually no, Quinn, you lost. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
you
you
get the last
did.
pick. That's
I
right.
was like, should I let this go?
I
or-
can't- yes, I forgot.
I'm too honest. I definitely,
you are correct.
definitely lost last week's bet.
How could I forget that $60 million bet? I am so sorry. I've been harping on this all episode, and I forgot. My
but you
apologies,
know what?
Quinn.
I'm owning up to it, so yeah.
So Quinn, yes, my apologies. You do get last bet. My
Nice.
apologies for that. So, all right, Richie Skye.
I'm gonna say 38.
$38 million for The Girl on the Train. All
That
right.
wasn't my original pick, but my original was 35. But I'm gonna say 38.
You're 38. I don't think, man, given the way the box office has been, I'm going to go a little bit more conservatively. I'm going to go 32.
That was gonna be mine.
Oh my God! I thought you said it was gonna do so well.
No, I do think it's gonna do well. I think 32 would be a nice opening for this.
All right.
Let's go. So boring, but I'm gonna slice the middle here. We're gonna go 35? Is that slicing the middle?
All right.
Yeah.
34-ish.
All right.
Somewhere
That's in
in
the
there.
middle.
All right. So we've got 38 for DJ Richie Skye.
Yep.
32 for myself. 34-ish?
34.5 for me.
34.5. Definitive sticking the landing there. So that is our box office bet there. We'll see which one of us is going to be seeing The Girl on the Train. I feel like another one of Richie Skye's favorite scenarios where nobody is a loser in these sort of bets. Everybody's a winner.
You see how everyone just feels good?
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's going to do.
Especially the studios.
That's right.
Always winning.
That is going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown here on Popcorn Talk.
It's written all over the walls, Frank.
I
Come
shouldn't
on.
know like that. As always, folks, like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Thanks so much for joining us there on the chat. We'd love having you be another member of the panel, sharing your opinions and thoughts about films in general. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to continue the conversation with us even after the show is over, Richie Skye, where can they find you?
You guys can stalk me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Skye.
You guys can stalk me also on Twitter at Quinn Scillian, on Instagram at Quinstagram, and you can find me on Snapchat at Quapchat. Thank you.
Woo! And guys, don't just stalk me. Just knock on the door nicely. I'll let you in. Come on. We'll sit down. We'll watch The Devil Wears Prada together.
Yes,
It'll be a lot
I'll
of
be
fun.
over. I'll be over later.
Watch that.
You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. Folks, we'll see you next week for another hot episode of Box Office Breakdown here on Popcorn Talk. Have a good night, everybody.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.